We're back and ready for action.
You hate me today, don't you, Scott?
Yeah.
10 months of searching. Could this be it?
We'll be battling confusion.
Phil is playing with your head.
Oh, you're mean!
I'm not mean.
So cruel.
And fighting high expectations.
I want pillars outside my front door.
Does it worry you your future wife doesn't agree with one word you've just said?
As we try to make property dreams a reality.
Wow.
What is going on at the moment?
Don't cry. It's all right.
Today, we've got a right royal challenge.
With two scrupulous sets of subjects.
It's all quite negative for me at the moment.
Matt usually ends up getting his way.
There's a court jester in our midst.
Oh, Phil, you look small today.
But will our choice of residences be granted the seal of approval?
Absolutely astonished.
I was confused.
Yeah, I'm astonished, actually.
Confused.
I'm actually astonished.
We actually really like it.
Let's play both.
Yeah. This week, we're in our capital, London.
I'm with a couple who are torn between life in the big city and life in the leafy suburbs.
And I've got my work cut out with towering twins who want two of everything. They better not be double trouble.
We're house hunting in and around the pricey postcodes close to the river.
As well as extending our search south of the water to the leafier areas where you can get a bit more for your money.
Unlike other parts of the country, demand for buying property in the big smoke has risen ahead of supply.
There just isn't enough on the market.
And to top it off, in the wealthy pockets, house prices have gone up and up and up.
So if you want a posh postcode, be prepared to pay the price. I've certainly got a tall order with 6'7" identical twins Chris and Matt Wickham, who are looking to make the biggest purchase of their lives so far together.
Meanwhile, I'm on the house hunt for a recently engaged couple.
Quality and sourcing manager Sam Taylor and business manager Crystal Mayer are desperate to move from their small rented flat in southeast London's Deptford and get onto the property ladder before their big day.
It'll be just lovely to come back to our own house or flats after being married rather than a rented property.
And this search is one where size definitely does matter.
Every time we want to have friends over for dinner, we actually have to use chairs from outside because we can't actually physically store any more chairs within the flat.
It'll be really nice to have some more space to entertain.
Moving house isn't cheap, but tying the knot in a little over a year will be an expensive business too. Crystal's struggling to prioritise.
The more money we save on property means that we can put a lot more money into the perfect wedding, the big fairy tale in the castle with a big dress.
I don't think I'd dare to not give you the dress that you wanted.
Crystal's not only fallen for Sam, she's also fallen for the bright lights of London town.
But they don't exactly see eye to eye about what they want in a new home.
I'd really like somewhere that has an amazing view of the London skyline, high-spec finish throughout.
Whereas I really just love kind of warehouse conversions and something with some period features.
We don't know really which one we should be going for. Do we sound very confused?
Just a bit.
Time to meet my couple in a quandary.
What's been the difficulty?
We're really torn between whether we go for the young, trendy flat in the centre of London and have the view, or whether we go for something a bit more sensible and think about the future and having a family.
It's not easy because you're trying to forecast a life that you don't have, and actually you don't want to have right now.
No.
And budget?
290, but we could go a little bit above that.
Would you do any work to a place?
I'm a little bit scared of that, but Sam, I think, is quite...
Okay.
I've knocked down some walls before in my time. The main thing is that we were trying to make sure that the budget for the house was exactly right, and whatever we had left would then go into the wedding.
So basically, the more money I can save you, the better wedding you can have.
Exactly.
No pressure, though.
None.
Put it all on me. Broad shoulders.
Ooh, you know perfectly well it should be property first, wedding second. Honestly.
Sam and Crystal have a top budget of £295,000.
What they do agree on is that it must have 2 bedrooms.
A good-sized living room to entertain and some outside space.
They want a maximum commute time of 40 minutes to work in central London.
But aren't sure if they want a party pad near the city
or a practical period property in the suburbs.
So my plan is to show them the best of both worlds.
London is home to Western Europe's tallest building, so hopefully it's a city that can accommodate our tallest first-time buyers.
26-year-old identical twins Matt and Chris Wickham have identical housing needs. They've both outgrown their rental pads.
So they've been working hard, and between them they've saved a whopping 20 grand deposit to buy their own place, close to their city jobs in finance, and their lovely girlfriends.
We looked at a few places. We looked a bit in North London, but it was just so expensive there, it was becoming impossible.
Their money may not stretch far, but at 6'7", these basketballing brothers also have a size issue.
The fact that we are quite tall does impact on what we're looking for. High ceilings would be lovely, I think, so that we don't have to duck. With little things like we have big feet, so our shoes take up a lot of space.
With size 14 feet, they're going to need some super-sized storage.
Very sadly, the boys' father recently passed away. They've decided to use the inheritance to top up their deposit and increase their budget to 350 grand, hopefully helping them find their perfect pad.
It's been a dream of ours to kind of buy with each other, and there are very few people you can enter into a mortgage with, and someone you can trust implicitly, like my brother.
But these two peas in a pod do have some differences.
I've been told that I can be very awkward. I like things the way I like them, sort of thing. I would describe Matt as stubborn. Stubborn.
Sound familiar, Kirstie?
What I need to know from you two is what's not important.
If the bedrooms weren't exactly the same size, I think that's something we could compromise on. As long as we can stand up straight. And, for us, location is the most important thing.
You have 350,000 to spend. Do you feel the weight of the responsibility of investing that money wisely?
Definitely, yeah. We want to make the best use of it.
London is one of the most expensive places to live in the world, and what you're seeing does not reflect what you're spending.
Yeah, we're not afraid of doing a bit of work to a property, and we are realistic.
Right, OK, drink up, because
Okay.
flats don't find themselves.
Thank goodness. We'd both be out of a job.
Matt and Chris ideally want no more than a 40-minute commute to work in the city.
And have high expectations when it comes to location, preferring the central spots north of the river, like Pimlico and Victoria.
But I will also be pushing them south to show them how much more they can get for their money.
For £350,000, Matt and Chris are after a place with 2 equal-sized bedrooms.
As this won't be a forever home, they'd like good investment potential.
They aren't afraid of getting their hands dirty with a bit of work.
And no hitting their heads on the ceiling.
So you've got a couple of giants, I hear.
No, Phil, they're tall. They're tall.
Basketball players.
Basketball players, yeah. Twin basketball players, yeah. And they've worked very hard and they've saved their money, and it's really hard. How do you turn to someone and say 350 grand isn't enough? In the rest of the country, 350 grand buys you a 5-bed house with a large garden. Anyway, how are you doing?
Basically, they don't know what they want, so they've asked for everything. It could be in town, it could be out of town, it could be short term, it could be long term, it's got to have a London view. So although it is tough, we're both on home ground.
Yeah,
Nice to be
completely
in
on
London.
home ground. Know what I'm talking about, know the streets, know the areas. All of that's really good.
You know what you're talking about and everything. This
know.
is going to be interesting.
Thank you, Phil.
We may be on home turf, but this isn't going to be a walk in the park.
The average age of a first-time buyer in London is 32. That's 2 years older than the rest of the UK.
Compared to this, our guys are getting in early. They've saved hard for their deposits.
And it's up to us to see they spend their money wisely.
The first property I'm showing Sam and Crystal is in Limehouse, on the northern bank of the River Thames.
Less than 6 miles to both their workplaces, it's pretty central, offering Crystal the city views she wants and isn't the move to suburbia they've been wary of.
And this quirky period conversion, chosen with Sam in mind, is a great find.
This was built in the 1920s. How do you feel about being in Limehouse?
I do like the area. There's lots going on around here.
Happy enough with the outside?
Yeah, it's nice.
Cool. Come on then.
Once a sailor's mission, it now houses around 50 apartments.
I'm showing Sam and Crystal a spacious, bright top-floor flat. On the market at just under 300,000, it is £5,000 over budget, but I've been told a deal could be done. My mission is to show it's a wash with potential. All aboard.
Right, we'll see what you think of this. It does need a bit of tarting up.
Yep. Yeah. I think from a space point of view, this room does feel really good. It's massive compared to what we've currently got.
My plan of reconfiguring the flat would actually bring the kitchen into here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So it would be a very open plan. Take this wall out. The current kitchen is in there. Total cost of all the things that I'm talking about, probably 15,000, 20,000. But you would need to save up to do the work. Yeah. And that means you've got to live in a flat in the interim period.
Yeah. That isn't scary. We wouldn't do the work straight away.
I knew Sam would like the potential of this place.
I think our only kind of slight concern is outside.
I wouldn't want to live somewhere with that approach.
I don't think you're winning Crystal over with this one, Phil.
I'm not giving up yet.
In the short term, you could spend minimal amount of money painting, redoing the surfaces.
It's a usable kitchen, at least.
I haven't seen part of this flat that I actually like. It's all quite negative for me at the moment.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Fine. I've got broad shoulders, I keep telling you.
Maybe she'll like the room with a view.
This is the bigger of the two bedrooms.
It's actually quite a nice view from the window as well.
And I've saved the best view till last.
Follow me.
Surely the communal roof terrace will wow Crystal.
God loves a trier, Phil.
Well, if you wanted to be reminded that you were living in London, this wouldn't be a bad place to do it.
It's really nice.
But it's not my own, and I won't really use it. Everything needs changing, the carpets, the floors, walls, and it just seems like too big a job to tackle.
And how about you, Sam?
Oh, I think from like a space point of view, it's a brilliant size.
Does it worry you your future wife doesn't agree with one word you've just said?
A little bit.
Never mind him, Phil. It's you that should be worried.
This week, I'm with towering twins Matt and Chris, whose expectations are through the roof.
And I'm with Sam and Crystal, who can't decide whether they want a cool city pad or a future family home.
Don't worry, I'll set them straight.
Can't wait. The first property I showed my soon-to-be married pair, the former sailor's mission in Limehouse, didn't send Sam jumping overboard. But with a wedding to pay for, the scale of work left Crystal with a sinking feeling.
I'm hoping my first-time buyer twins, Matt and Chris, will be a little more enamoured by what I've got up my sleeve.
We're headed south of the Thames to the bustling area of Putney. Here, the average price of a flat is £100,000 over the boys' budget.
But the place we found in East Putney is affordable, partly because of the work that's needed. And I've invited Phil along to meet the big brothers.
Oh, Phil, you look small today.
Thank you, Kirstie. How to make me feel nice. Oh, no, we're here. We're kind of equidistant between Wandsworth Town train station and East Putney Tube Station. So you've got both of them are within a 10-minute walk from here.
Oh, fantastic. We've got long legs, we can walk.
You've got long legs,
We can
so
walk 10 minutes.
under a 10-minute walk is probably a 2-minute walk for you two,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Okay. Right, in we go.
Thank you.
They may not mind a morning stroll, but their commute to work from here could take up to an hour, longer than the 40 minutes they'd like. But this two-bed first-floor flat is in a great area and is bang on budget.
The living room is a great space for our lads, with plenty of scope to make it their own. The compromise lies in the bedroom size.
God, this is lovely. Wow.
It's a good size, yeah, really high ceilings.
I think the first impression is it feels big and roomy to me, really airy. It does take a lot of our boxes at the moment. This is a lot bigger than I thought we would be looking at.
Its condition is letting it down. If you two spent one Saturday in this flat, you could add £10,000 to the value, and that is no word of exaggeration, is it?
Possibly more.
No, that's the exciting thing I think about it. You could do a lot with it for little effort.
But will our supersized siblings remain as unfazed by the little and large bedrooms?
There's definitely a senior bedroom and a junior bedroom, and I don't know how you would resolve that.
Have you thought about that?
I'm not too fussy, and Matt usually ends up getting his way, so we'll see what happens.
Do you agree there, Matt?
Well, I'm painting me in a bad light, but no, possibly. I think I would make sacrifices. I'll do some more cooking or something.
compromising already.
They'd make any mother proud.
It looks like we might have to be a bit more creative with space in this room.
Yes. I mean, there are lots of things you can do.
You could move the kitchen into the living room.
Yeah.
Creating an open-plan kitchen living space means that this small bedroom could be knocked into the current kitchen, creating a giant sleeping space.
It'd be something you'd have to save up for a little bit.
Yeah. We were forewarned that it would be a big room and a
Yeah.
small room. I wasn't necessarily quite prepared for the size of this one, I think.
Well, have a wander, have a think.
Okay.
Take your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
So size does matter in the bedroom.
This room is massive to me. Yeah. Makes me wonder whether we actually need the space. Yeah.
But there's too much square footage in the sitting room.
It's a very good flat without other things to compare it to. It's quite difficult.
No, it is really difficult for them, but I'm really keen on how much value you can add to this flat.
So, time for some reflection up there.
I think you can easily see that you could do something to it and make it a nice place to live. It's a great investment, but we would be willing to sacrifice the size to maybe reduce our commuting a little bit.
We got a maybe in the bag?
Definite maybe in the
Maybe
bag.
in the bag. Okay.
A definite maybe.
What do they call it in
Come on.
basketball when you get a shot? Is it a shot?
Slam dunk.
Slam dunk. So
It's not quite a slam dunk, but it's, you know,
it's getting there.
it's getting there.
Thankfully, you know more about property than you do about basketball, Kirstie.
What I do know is that although they liked this flat, I can definitely do better.
I certainly need to do better, as my search for Sam and Crystal got off to a rocky start in Limehouse, especially for Crystal. So I've got a chic city pad for her, just 5 minutes down the road in Docklands. A major business centre with excellent transport links, homeowners round here even get a great view to boot.
What's it like living by the river?
It really makes you feel like you're in London, like being right by the Thames. It's really nice to have a part of it just outside your balcony.
Is there much to do locally? Are there places to go out, shops?
Absolutely, there's bars and clubs on every corner.
You've got parks nearby as well, so it's lovely, and as you can tell, it's peaceful, it's quiet, it's a very safe area.
It's certainly a popular patch, but what will my pair make of it?
It's a modern block built 6 years ago. No
Nice and
work
new.
required.
Good.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Looks nice from the outside, I'd
Yeah, it
say.
does.
Come on.
All smiles so far. Cheaper than the last flat, this luxury pad is at their ideal price of £290,000.
It needs no work, but let's hope the lack of period charm won't be a stumbling block for Sam.
It's nice.
It's lovely. It's really nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it so far. I love an island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think you're backing a winner here, Pipsqueak?
And there's still more to come.
Key reason for choosing this flat above others of its type was it's got a proper balcony. I mean, this
It's a nice size, isn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely
It's-
get a good, decent table on here and barbecue.
And if you go up the end of there, you can glimpse to the right. You can see water,
That's so nice.
and Canary Wharf to the left.
That is beautiful.
Really lovely.
And somebody practicing a musical instrument rather badly over there.
Setting my teeth on edge.
The higher up you go, the better the views become. We are on the second floor and we're on budget.
Yeah, it's really good, because at least that will give us a bit more money to be able to get the perfect wedding and to get you that perfect dress.
He says all the right things, doesn't he?
He's good, isn't he?
Come on.
You missed your cue, Phil. Less dress, more flat is the line.
Does seeing this flat make it any easier for you in the kind of cool city lifestyle versus the slightly more suburban, perhaps longer term?
I think I still want the view, and so, yeah, it's swung it for me, definitely.
OK.
Well, Crystal's clear on what she wants.
But how's sensible Sam feeling about the prospect of living here?
I could see us in here. The thing that I'm still kind of concerned about is, could I see us in here if we had a family?
Well, Crystal's certainly looking a lot brighter in this flat, but I can't help feeling that there's not as much for Sam to get enthused about in here, because he genuinely is thinking long-term, adding value, having a family, and all those very sensible things. What they're going to do. Have you had a bit of time to think about it?
Yeah, we have, and we actually really like it.
You sound surprised.
Yeah. It's not going to be any major kind of renovation, but I think there's still kind of little things that you can do to make it just that little bit nicer.
It does offer you everything that you're looking for out of your current lifestyle, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
You've turned it around with the hip pat, but they've yet to see any family-size flats a bit further out.
Don't worry, Kirstie. Baby steps.
Whereas I'm taking huge strides with twins Chris and Matt.
Oh, don't get run over, Matt.
The next property I'm showing them is all about postcode. We're staying south, but heading to popular Clapham.
High on the boys' list of preferred areas, there's a young vibe and plenty to do here.
They do get a little less space for their money, but this flat offers oodles of curb appeal.
What do we feel about this location?
I'm absolutely astonished that we can afford somewhere around here. I mean, I know the area quite well. It's a 5-minute walk to Clapham North Station.
It is.
20-minute commute into the city from there. Location 10 out of 10. I mean...
10 out of 10? Oh no, Chris is not so sure.
I'll put it up as a solid 9.
In we go.
OK.
Thumbs up for the location. Recently reduced, it's still £5,000 over budget, but I've been told there could be wiggle room.
This is risky. Your last one failed on bedroom size, and this is even smaller.
Yes, but it has period charm and very little to do to it.
So, a smaller sitting room, but equally high ceilings, very light and in lovely nick.
I can't believe we could afford somewhere like this.
There are basically 2 bedrooms, neither of which would take 2 cats swinging around.
Right.
You know, 1 cat, fine. Little mouse, fine.
Yeah.
2 cats, no.
Yeah. It's a lovely space. I think you've got practical use of shelves and things, so you can take everything you need.
Yeah. Asking price, 355.
I mean, if it's top end of our budget and it doesn't need work doing to it, then who can
All the
argue with
better,
that, eh?
exactly, yeah.
In terms of investment potential, the boys would struggle to add much value here.
So they could just sit back and enjoy it.
So, this is the smaller of the 2 bedrooms.
I'm not as shocked as I know it might be thought in a room this size. I've lived in a small room in my current location as well.
And Matt's supposed to be the awkward one.
I mean, I know it seems like a cheap trick, perhaps, if you put a mirror on there.
On where?
On
the wall.
The wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
each to
Ideas.
Yeah.
He didn't mean a mirror on the ceiling, Kirstie.
Let's move on and see if Chris is as laid back in the other bedroom.
So, not huge.
It's bigger than I thought.
Really?
Yeah, you undersold it, I think.
Did I? Oh, that's rare.
I mean, for the location and our budget, it's surpassed my expectations.
Is it the location that is so fantastic, you're just like, as long as this flat is humanly habitable, we'll go for it?
I can't really find a negative.
I think you agree on this flat.
We have pretty similar tastes.
Yeah, no. It's good.
Hopefully we'll be easy.
I think you're easy.
OK.
In the good way, not the bad way.
OK, thanks, Kirstie.
I know what you're going to say. Oh, bless. So sweet.
Just want to put them in my pocket, but they're a bit big to keep as pets.
And think of the food bill.
I mean, it's hands down better than the last one, and the last one was good, so I'm taken with it. Yeah.
Top marks, Kirstie.
So, gents, what do you reckon?
I'm kind of blown away, really. I would agree. I'm astonished, actually.
Do you want to see another flat?
Yeah, I mean, if you can better it, that'd be fantastic. But I mean...
OK, that is how I like to end a day.
You've raised the bar.
See, it's all about location, location, location.
This week I'm in London, helping slightly confused couple, Sam and Crystal, find their first marital home.
And I've got 2 for the price of 1 with my London search for twins Chris and Matt.
This 2 of a kind have been very open-minded with what I've shown them so far, preferring a popular postcode to extra space in the bedroom.
It's nice not to have to duck through these doorways.
I've got a tricky property hunt on my hands with engaged couples Sam, who wants old, and Crystal, who wants new. I've stuck close to their cool comfort zone with central flats near the river, but with a wedding looming, every penny counts. So I want to show them what's on offer a little further out.
Yes, we're going from C for city to S for suburbia, and Brockley in southeast London.
This area not only has good transport links, but is brimming with amenities, and would give Sam and Crystal a future-proof lifestyle that they really should consider.
and I'm coming along to show them the benefits of a family-friendly house.
Gently does it, Kirstie.
Well, something a bit different today. Not only are we joined by the glamorous Kirstie,
That's me.
we're also in a very different area. Trees and greenery all round us.
Green as the Incredible Hulk.
I just hope Sam and Crystal don't burst with anger when they see the property.
This is a converted pub.
OK.
It's lovely.
It is nice.
Really nice.
Yeah.
And how do you feel today being in Brockley as opposed to being in Docklands?
I feel a bit nervous because I thought I loved the flat yesterday and that whole lifestyle, and I'm a bit scared that I'm going to prefer this today.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing.
But let's get inside and have a look.
Now a spacious two-bedroom flat, this converted pub has recently been reduced to £284,950.
10 grand under their maximum budget. There'll be plenty of change for the wedding fund.
And I think the cool vibe here is exactly what they're after.
Let's hope your idea of cool, Phil, marries up to theirs.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very, very cool.
Crystal thinks it's cool.
It feels more like a warehouse conversion than anything else that we could
Yeah.
probably afford.
Sam's on side.
I've got to say that I think that it's utterly charmless at the moment. Totally, utterly charmless.
Whoa, whose side are you on, Allsopp?
Hang on, I've got a plan.
You need to get some works of art on the wall. You need to put up some
colour.
cool
Need some
posters. You
colour.
need some colour.
What strikes you about it?
It's very different, it's very urban, it's really quite striking, I think.
This flat could be a family-sized flat.
You're going to have the chat, aren't you?
You may not want children ever.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. I
Okay.
do.
How old will you be when you get married, Crystal?
Well, hopefully next year.
Hopefully next
And
year.
then hopefully children immediately.
The cost of a move, £25,000 to £30,000. It's none of my business whether people want children or not, but if they do, trust me, I know you don't want to incur costs at that period.
Good advice. Makes sense.
Honesty is the best policy.
There's no controlling her whatsoever. Come for a bit of peace in here, Sam. Master bedroom, much bigger than we saw yesterday. If it was down to you,
Yeah.
where would you be?
I still think the Docklands one is slightly winning. We like to have people over for dinner, so it's trying to work out where you could fit in a big table into this flat.
OK, sounds fair enough.
Sam's not as taken with this as I thought he'd be.
But I think Crystal might be hearing the distant pitter-patter of tiny feet.
Bedroom 2, what do you think?
It's a great size second bedroom.
You said before we came in here that you didn't want really to see this flat because you thought it might confuse you.
Yeah, I'm confused.
You're confused.
Uh-oh, the other dreaded C word.
What's the confusing element?
Because I know that this is probably the right way to go, but I need to come to terms with the fact I need to step away from the city London life, I think.
And the penny has dropped. Didn't take long for Crystal to see the light once I'd arrived.
How the tables have turned with this pair.
It's really nice. I think just the total flat needs a bit of soul, a little bit of TLC.
Hello.
Slick job, Spencer.
Slick job indeed. I feel like we've been in this place 100 times. The same situation, couples having the same debates. It's a very normal debate to have. We need to ease them through it, guide them through it, cautiously.
You know why I have the chat.
Yes.
And you know it's entirely well-intentioned. And
Of
if
course
you
I
want
do.
to wind me up for kicks, that's fine, because I'm a grown-up and I can deal with it.
And they're grown-ups as well, and they know the situations that they're getting themselves.
Not everybody does. You'd be amazed by how many people don't know these things.
This is going to be fascinating. I've no idea which way they're going to go.
Only time will tell if they're really sold on suburbia.
And I still have a fourth and final property up my sleeve to win Sam and Crystal over. It's the furthest I've taken them away from central London, but we're staying south and heading to Forest Hill.
Forest Hill is very much up and coming with a lot to offer. Dare I say it, particularly to families.
As it's still pretty undervalued, property prices here are affordable. So I have a whopper of a flat that might make easily confused Crystal, well, even more confused.
You get a lot more space for your money
Yeah, it looks really nice from the outside. Interesting.
How are you feeling?
Confused. And probably more so when I get inside.
I'm afraid you will. Come on in.
As I suspected, but hopefully the confusion won't last long, as this is a spectacular period conversion.
On at just under £290,000, it's not only on the money,
It's the biggest property I've shown them.
with bags of baby-friendly space and a private garden. Not too easy to come by.
It also delivers on character to satisfy Sam, as well as a beautiful finish for Crystal.
What do you think?
There's a garden.
The one and only
I've never
private
had a garden. It's lovely.
We've got over 1,000 square feet here to play with. It's by far the biggest thing.
It's
and
very
it's
nice.
on the market at a shade under 290.
Wow. There's so much space.
So much space. Really nice.
I'm very confused right now.
Let's see some more.
Hopefully the size of the master bedroom will help put things into perspective.
Wow.
Oh my God.
It's definitely enormous, I'd say.
Huge.
Fantastic proportions.
I think only room for Crystal's clothes, though. She has a lot of clothes.
Anything that'll do for the wedding?
It's just got that bit of character that the last place just
It's got a
definitely
lot of
didn't
character.
have.
This is really exciting.
Have you seen anything that troubles you?
No.
When we met, Crystal, you were categorical about the fact that you wanted to be reminded
Of London.
of London.
I know.
This flat doesn't offer that.
The space and the period features, the garden, all of that's blown me away.
Good.
I was sold on number 2
Yeah.
and then you showed me number 4. And now you've made it difficult again.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. Let's buy both.
This flat and the one in the Docklands are in the running. Excellent result.
This would be the sensible purchase. I just hope they see it that way.
You could fit a table in here as well.
It's actually a kitchen by itself.
Yes. It's really nice. You're very excited.
I know.
No confusion here, it's crystal clear.
Come on out. This is like another room.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
And in my opinion, it has value like another room.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really lovely.
You did set us quite a large challenge, given all the different elements that you were unsure about.
I think you have shown us the best of the kind of each
Yeah,
set of
I
different
think so.
living lifestyles.
I feel happy that we've kind of closed the door on each one of those and we can now make a decision on what we want to do.
Yep. On our future.
It's a big decision and may need a little meditation. It's my last chance to score, with both location and size for Matt and Chris's first flat together. I'm taking them to my final property by rather unconventional means.
You certainly know how to travel in style, Kirstie.
How would you feel if this was your daily commute?
I would be pretty happy with this as a commute, a lot better than the tube.
The method of transport's floating Matt's boat, and you'll get points for postcode.
Yep, and we've gone north of the Thames and ended up in Pimlico, a central spot I know they're going to love. Pimlico is in Westminster, the second most expensive borough in London, where the average house price is over £880,000.
But because you can get more square footage for your money, ex-local authority can often be the smart choice for first-time buyers.
So my wildcard property is this two-bed flat in an ex-local authority building.
You might set the cat among the pigeons here. Estates aren't everyone's cup of tea.
But the sweetener is the basketball court, within shooting distance. Slam dunk.
Ooh, you're learning.
What do you feel about the block? You've seen that this is a flat that comes with a basketball court.
It is. Yeah. It's an amazing area. I mean, it's beautifully maintained.
This flat is still 10 grand over budget, but I have it on good authority that the vendor is open to offers. It has a bright, spacious sitting room, the biggest kitchen I've shown them.
And there shouldn't be any squabbling over the bedrooms, as both are a pretty good size.
The only downside is right outside the window.
This is amazingly big.
It is really big.
I think it's massive.
Oh, here's
Probably
the train.
constantly. Well, you had to point it out. compared to my last flat where it took me about 2 months to get used to going to sleep with the noise.
But you did get used to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I sleep through anything now.
I think you two should go and look at the bedrooms.
These two are so laid back, they're almost horizontal.
It's a slam dunk. That's what I reckon, anyway.
I can't get over the size of it.
What do you reckon?
1 massive bedroom.
Good.
2 massive bedrooms.
2 massive ones.
Kirstie.
I didn't say it, they said it.
That's a double bed with room to run around in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I definitely didn't think we'd find somewhere with that much space.
Yeah.
Hasn't Chris said that in every place you've shown him?
Yes, but here it's true. This flat has over 200 square foot more than the last.
Kitchen could do with the tart up.
It's a really good size.
It's a really good size. The answer to this flat is that some people are put off by the idea of living on a council estate.
I'm actually astonished. I'm still slightly staggered about how massive this place is and the location. The only thing for me is the Clapham property was such a good one.
It was such a good one.
We know that area well, and so it's a good dilemma to have.
It's game over for me and the twins, but which flat will come out on top?
Sam and Crystal fell for the style and space of the last property I showed them in Forest Hill. But they've surprised me by asking to come back to the stylish city pad in Docklands.
Why here?
This is an easier move. The other one seems to be like a whole life-changing step, probably. That's the bit that I kind of woke up in cold sweats about this morning.
How are you feeling this morning about being in Docklands?
I'm interested to see my gut reaction as soon as I step into that property, because at the moment I'm still very confused. But the way I felt yesterday about Forest Hill, I'm not sure that reaction's quickly going to subside.
Come on then, let's get inside.
So Crystal's heart is in Forest Hill, and Sam doesn't want to let go of the Docklands dream.
This should be interesting.
Going to be vital, Crystal, as you come in this room. Tell me what you think.
Oh, I was confused.
No, that's not the right answer anymore. Yeah. I think, like, the fact that it is so light and airy, yeah, it's massively difficult.
I don't know.
They're all at the same price.
Mm.
I have confused you with Forest Hill, which is bigger and leafier, and perhaps not what you had in your mind's eye. It would last you for longer. This would be more fun in the shorter term.
What are you thinking?
How much fun do you want to have? I think that's the problem.
Family versus fun? What will it be?
Poor Crystal. It looks as though she's got the troubles of the world resting on her shoulders, and I suppose to some extent she has.
Go and look at the view, Sam.
But at the same time, I also think it's an easy decision, because I think they should buy the one in Forest Hill. But it's not my job to say that. You can lead a horse to water. You can't always make it drink.
I mean, certainly wouldn't be able to have baby or family here. It's still just a two-person flat.
No, I agree. I'm glad that we came to see it again.
Are you coming round to Forest Hill?
Yeah, it's easy.
Really? Yes.
Do we have a happy Crystal?
Yes, you do.
Good.
Hello, Phil.
Hello.
I've come to look at the view one last time.
One last time?
One last time.
Why don't we go and get a drink somewhere?
Yeah, that sounds good.
And sit down. You said that very quickly.
Looks like these two have decided to walk away from the party pad.
Now the pressure's on to try and bag them the family home.
Only a few hours after their first visit, brothers Matt and Chris have opted to go back to the ex-local authority flat in the swish spot of Pimlico.
It's a block that's only 5 stories, and this would go in the twins' favour. Any higher, and some mortgage providers may not be willing to lend.
But inside, the bigger the better.
There seems to be a lot of storage space.
I know you're concerned that you have more clothes than most girls, but I think you've got the place to put them.
Yeah.
Plus any other pieces of equipment.
Yeah, agreed.
Like the balls.
Basketballs, of course.
So it's pretty scruffy, the bathroom, isn't it?
It is, but I think with a little bit of money saved up over a few months, we could probably do what we wanted with it.
We're not talking a lot of money. And the tiling you could probably do yourselves.
Yeah.
Once you get your own drill, there's no holding you back.
A second viewing of a property gives you the chance to look at things without rose-tinted spectacles.
Look at the practicalities.
And come up with any questions you may want to ask the estate agent.
How does it feel now?
It's quite nerve-wracking because this is a realistic possibility.
That's the compromise, I think.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me at all.
Some people will walk into the sitting room and say, no way.
Just because we're not bothered by it, would it affect the ability to sell it on?
Do you want to go somewhere and have a drink and discuss?
Yes, please.
Right. After you, sir.
Chris and Matt loved the space and potential of the Pimlico flat, but they also loved the style and location of the flat in Clapham. This really could go either way.
Where are you at the moment?
The Clapham's the safe bet. We know the area very well. The only concern is whether we get in there and find that it isn't big enough. And I think in comparison to the one we've just been to revisit, it seems like it may be one that will increase in value.
Matt and Chris are going to think about this huge decision overnight. And all I can do is make sure we have all the information on both flats to help them.
I'm very conscious that you feel, in a good way, the responsibility of the money that your father left you, and we've got to make sure we do it right.
Yep, agreed.
48 hours ago, we thought we'd never find anything that you could stand up in and have equal bedrooms. So we're in a really good position. Tomorrow we will chat, and hopefully I will make an offer on one of those flats. Yay!
That'd be fantastic.
I'm with Sam and Crystal, whose journey of confusion has at long last become clear. They want to call the Forest Hill flat home.
OK, well, what are we going to do about it? It's on the market for $290. I think if you could buy it for $280, that would be a big result.
I said $280. I said that to you this morning.
And I was thinking $275. I'd much rather that you said no first time.
I would go in $277, $278.
Okay.
Expect it to be rejected. Come straight back. OK, we'll increase our offer. $280 is the price. Take up the market right now.
Pressure's on, Phil.
Ross, good afternoon. Phil Spencer here. I sat here with Crystal and Sam. They've asked me to make an offer to you of $277,000. I hear what you're saying, so let's keep talking. Cheers. Bye. He doesn't expect it to be accepted simply because they have had an offer close to that in the past that was rejected.
Right.
But he's going to ring straight away.
OK. Thank you.
Every £1,000 that we save, of course, is a better dress for the bride.
She has got her heart set on something nice. And by nice, I mean expensive.
I would never have imagined, Sam. Hi, Ross. How did you get on? We've been sitting here debating what would happen if you declined it. And I do have a best and final offer for you at $280. Cheers, Ross. Bye. He wants $285. The agent asked whether we would, just go a little bit above $281, $282.
What do you think?
Let's see what he comes
See what
back
he
with.
comes back with,
Yeah. And then quite happy to go to 282.
Yeah.
282. Hi, Ross. We're all a bit nervous at this end. I'll bring you back. Thank you very much. He's accepted it.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you.
You've got a flat. And with any luck, I've got an invite to the wedding.
Yes!
When it comes to driving a hard bargain, Phil, you're always the best man.
Matt and Chris have had time to look at the pros and cons of both flats.
And they've decided to opt for a bit less space, but stick to the area they know best, Clapham.
We've asked Kirstie's put in an offer of 345 on the Clapham flat. We're willing to go to 350. We've got everything crossed for good luck. I've volunteered to take the slightly smaller room, but I will be demanding washing up duty for at least a year.
That's brotherly love for you.
A few days later, their offer of $345,000 was rejected. I upped it to $347,000, but sadly this was also turned down.
After going back to the flat for another look, Matt and Chris decided not to re-offer at the top of their $350,000 budget.
But now they've seen what their money can buy them, Clapham is very much top of their list. And I'm sure they'll be settled soon.
Over with Sam and Crystal, I'm delighted to say that they're hoping to move into their family-friendly Forest Hill home in a few weeks' time.
Having bagged it for $15,000 under budget, Crystal certainly has plenty of pennies left for her dream wedding. The icing on the cake to their dream home.